Welcome to the Sarah Finkelstein Show, where the next 10 minutes can change your life. Also on Spotify, SoundCloud, and iHeartRadio. Here's Sarah.
Hi, I have an important topic that I want to cover today, and it has to do with getting ready for retirement. Now, you're probably aware that part of getting ready for retirement has to do with finances, your financial plan. How will you have the income to replace the income, the paycheck that you're currently getting from your job or career? You're probably taking advantage of a 401k plan and making contributions to that. And hopefully, you're getting a generous company match on your 401k contributions. But are you also taking advantage of an IRA, an individual retirement account? Preferably, if you qualify, a Roth IRA. And why do I say preferably a Roth? Because that money grows tax free. Once you start to take that money out of your Roth IRA, no taxes due. That's the beauty of a Roth IRA. But it's not just about you saving for your retirement. There are other factors that come into play when you're planning for your happy, carefree retirement. You have to consider future healthcare costs, your future healthcare needs of yours and possibly your spouse if you're part of a couple. How are you planning to keep up with the rising costs of inflation? And another important factor when it comes to the financial part of your retirement plan is legacy. Who do you want your heirs to be? Do you want it to be your family members? Or maybe you want a portion to go to charity? Those are all important questions that you need to consider and make a plan for. Benjamin Franklin was very big on planning. If you heard me say it before, as I repeat, Benjamin Franklin said, people don't plan to fail. They just fail to plan. And your retirement requires appropriate and adequate planning so you can make your retirement dreams a reality. So here's some issues that I have seen when people get to retirement. Some people tend to draw down their assets too fast. What does that mean? That means that they spend down their money too soon, leaving them with not enough money in their latter years. How long will you live? You know, people are living longer than ever before. Maybe you will live 30 or 40 years in retirement, and you don't want to spend down your assets within the first 10 or 20 years, right? You want to be financially set for the rest of your life. Again, it goes back to having an appropriate plan, and you should be tweaking that plan as time goes on. On the flip side, there are some retirees that are afraid to spend their money. They're afraid that they're going to run out of money, or they want to leave it all to their children, their loved ones, their grandchildren. And so they sacrifice themselves so that they could leave a nice legacy for their family. But planning for retirement is not just about the financial portion that we just talked about. It also has to do with your health. You have to be healthy in retirement so that you can enjoy your retirement to the fullest, right? I hear this often. People tell me, as we get older, we need to be physically active. For those people that are maybe in their 30s or 40s, they can get away with not being physically active. But it's so much more important as we age because we need to keep our bones strong and our muscles strong. We don't want to lose our muscles. So we need to be physically active, especially in our older years. And it doesn't have to be strenuous exercise, but some weights is good. And what about eating right? That's part of being healthy. It's important to be healthy and to get healthy if you're not already healthy. A common mistake that people make is they let themselves get dehydrated. We don't drink enough water. And I'm sure you've heard it said many, many times to drink 8 to 10 glasses of water a day because it is so important for our body, our organs. And oftentimes we just don't drink enough. And it doesn't count drinking coffee or drinking water, drinking coffee or soda or iced tea. That doesn't really count as drinking water. They say, the experts say, to drink water with either nothing in it or maybe some lemon drops. And that falls into taking good care of yourself so that when you reach retirement, you can enjoy it. Another thing to think about as you're planning your retirement is time. What will you be doing with your time now that you no longer have to jump out of bed when your alarm clock rings? You probably won't even need to set your alarm clock because you no longer have to be somewhere at a certain time, like reporting to work. So now you've got all this time. Have you given any thought to how you want to spend your time? And I run into many people. Some people have it all figured out. They know exactly what they want to do in their retirement, but other people don't have a clue. For example, my dad was very bored when he retired because he didn't have any hobbies. He didn't have any activities to keep him occupied. So one thing you want to avoid is boredom, and definitely you want to avoid getting depressed. So you have to make sure that you have activities to keep your mind active and your body active so you can enjoy your retirement. Maybe you want to spend more time with family. Maybe you have relatives that are out of state and you want to be able to spend time with them. You can plan those trips. Or maybe you want to volunteer with some of your time. There's so many wonderful organizations that one can get involved with. So if you have some hobbies now, that's great. But if you don't have any hobbies, maybe that's something that you want to look into. And people spend so much more time planning a vacation than they do planning their financial future, their retirement years. Getting to that point takes a lot of work. If you've worked for 40 years and you live another 30 to 40 years in retirement, that requires a lot of dollars. So make sure that you plan and plan appropriate, and make sure that you have more than one source of income in retirement. Now, we all know one of those sources is Social Security. And if you are lucky enough to have a pension, that is great. But a lot of people don't have a company-sponsored pension anymore. But the good news is when you start early, you could create your own pension so that you have another stream of guaranteed income in your retirement. I've heard it said that the happiest people in retirement are those that have multiple sources of guaranteed income because it gives them peace of mind. The last thing you want to have to do in your retirement is to worry. And worry causes negative stress. So make sure that you are adequately prepared for your retirement and make sure that you are saving, putting your dollars aside for your future golden years. And I'd like to encourage you to get a free report by going to www.familyfreedom.com financialfitnessforever.com. You just enter your email address there and you can download the report right away. There's good tips at that report that will help you with your planning for your financial future. See you next time.
Knowledge is power, but only when you implement what you've learned to your own benefit. Tune in next time for even more powerful tips on the Sarah Finkelstein Show.